Hi guys, welcome to my channel and we're gonna go straight right to it. So I am basing my eye using the concealer in the shade Cool Tan, and then I'm gonna blend it out with the blending brush, and then I am gonna put or apply an eyeshadow. I think this is pink. I'm partially colorblind, so you guys gonna forgive me with colors. So I'm applying it right on top of my crease. I'm using this shade as a transition shade. So what I'm doing right now, I'm simply blending it in. You don't want those harsh lines, so I'm blending it softly going upwards, and then I'm gonna apply like a burgundy kind of color right on top of my crease or right below the first shade that I applied in. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure those colors blend it in. You don't want any harsh lines, so I'm taking the pink that I applied first and just going on top of the line of the burgundy shade just to make sure my transition is flawless and it's well blended. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm applying the black, so that because I wanted to give it that intensity, like that. I'm applying the black and then I'm applying it right on top of my crease as well, or just below the burgundy, and I'm making sure that it is well blended. And I'm taking a smaller brush so that I am more precise with where I want the eyeshadow to go. And then I'm gonna tap a little bit on my burgundy and I go right on top of where my black finished, and then I'm gonna softly soften that harsh line or softly blended in the colors together. Now it's time to cut the crease, guys. This is the most hectic part, and you're gonna make sure that you have a steady hand. It's not easy, I won't lie to you. So I'm using a very light, like super light concealer. You can get it from LA Girl. I'm using it to cut my crease so that it really cuts smoothly, and when I apply color on top of it, the shape or the colors are gonna come out perfectly. I'm using a very small brush as well, and I'm just blending it out. You have to make sure that you don't use a lot of product because you're gonna struggle blending it in. And then I'm gonna take a small brush just to blend the edges or where the concealer ended, so that there's also a flawless smooth finish even when I apply the other colors on it. And so what I'm gonna do, I really wanted to play with some color. I'm not so sure what color this is. I think it's blue, or it's teal, or it's dark egg. I'm not so sure, but I'm sure you guys can see. So I'm applying this color first right on my tear duct, going to the inner part of my eye. This is going to be my first color that I'm using. So I'm making sure that I didn't set my concealer. I'm actually applying it on concealer without setting it with any part, so that my color is actually like popping, or it's actually standing out. So my second color that I'm applying is like a deep blue, I think so. So this deep blue I'm applying right on top of where the first color is at, so that they blend in together. I don't like harsh lines, guys. Like, I like my eyeshadow to really flawlessly blend in. So I'm going back and forth until I get the right blend I want and the right colors I want. And when I'm done with the blue, I'm gonna take that burgundy again. I'm gonna use it as transition to my black from the blue. So I'm softly blending it into the blue, and then I'm taking my black as well and just blending it in on the eye and right on top of where I cut my crease, so that everything is even. Anyway, your eyes will never be twins. They can only be sisters. You know, it's by chance that you get them as twins. And what I'm doing now, I'm applying, this is like an Essence liquid liner in the shade Gold. So I'm just using it. I'm wanted to do something fun, so I'm actually defining my crease using it, so that I just give it that fun creative side. And now I'm applying to my liquid liner. FYI, I'm running out of my liquid liner. It was really a struggle, and you know that right now the shops are closed for cosmetics, so I just had to use what I have. And I'm applying now my primer, the one from LA Girl. I think I actually touched on something black, like what the F is that. Anyway, I managed to blend it out, and now I'm using my foundation, Kryolan, in the shade D13-14, but I was using it as base, so I actually didn't apply it a lot. I was just softly brushing through my skin because I wanted to use it as a base. And then now I'm applying NYX foundation in the shade Deep Olive. This is a water-based foundation. I really like how it's got a warm undertone, it's got a great finish, and it really stays long on my skin, and it doesn't kind of like, because it's water-based, I don't sweat that very often, or I don't sweat that very fast, if that makes sense. And now it's time to highlight and contour, my favorite part. I'm using the LA Girl in the shade FAWN. And then the second one that I'm using, this is Cool 10, because your under eyes are a little bit darker, so you want to use something lighter, especially if your blending skills are good. So that's why I use two shades there to blend or to highlight. So the first one is well blended, which was Cool 10, and the second one is FAWN. So I'm using a smaller brush so that I'm more precise, and I don't want to move my product that well. So depending on the shape of your face, it depends how high you're gonna go on your forehead or how low you're gonna go on your forehead. Now it's time to contour, and I'm using foundation. Actually, I'm using the one from Kryolan, and I'm using the shade D14. It has to be the darkest, I think, because I actually ran out of my concealers as well, so I'm just using what I have. I can't wait for the lockdown to be finished so that I can buy my makeup stuff and really start enjoying do my videos again. But you can use what you have, ladies. It does work. So when you're blending your contour, you want to blend going upwards so that it defines your cheekbone very well. And then now I'm contouring my nose. I'm using a smaller brush. This gives me a good angle, and it really helps me to be more accurate, and it really helps me to kind of like thin my nose. As you can see, guys, I have an English nose now. So now I am baking. This is also one of my favorite parts because it helps my makeup to stay longer. And I am using the Kryolan powder in the shade, I think TL4, if not mistaken. I'll double check, but I'm gonna leave the details in the description box as well. It's got a warm undertone. These days I don't know what's happening. I'm really loving my skin because I think I have a warm undertone, so it really sits on my skin well, and I love it when it oxidates as well. So I'm using it to bake and highlight. So I really wanted to make sure that my eyes, the black is a little bit deep. Remember I told you I ran out of liquid liner. I literally had to use lipstick for what I'm doing. Excuse me. Well, it works. I wouldn't advise it if you don't know how to blend, or if you know your brand you can't trust it. So I used my lipstick, and now I'm just blending it in with some black so that it's kind of like flawless and it really comes out the way I want. And then I'm gonna take the burgundy again, because you never want harsh lines. I'm gonna take the burgundy, and then I'm gonna apply it or softly brush it just under the black, and then I'm gonna take that teal and just apply it a little bit in my tear duct or under my eyes. And now I'm taking the pink, but I'm softly doing this. I don't want it to be harsh, or I want it to match what it is on at the top as well. Also, now I'm contouring my nose. Now I'm using powder as I'm setting it on my nose as well. Now I'm setting with the powder on my cheekbones. I'm using the Essence compact powder in the shade Mahogany. And when I'm happy with that, because I like natural lips, like I love nude lips, and I have been working on my lips, exfoliating on my lips, so I wasn't about to apply lipstick, so I literally lined my lips and I use lip gloss. The lip gloss that I'm using is the one from Maybelline. It's a clear lip gloss. It really does work magic, and I love my lips when they're glossy. And now I'm using mascara. I'm the one from Essence, the smaller brush. This brushes my under eye very well. Okay, guys, let me tell you what's happening right now. I am super frustrated because I don't have eyelash glue. Literally, I barely had any to apply. I was really frustrated, but I wouldn't let this look go without eyelashes, so I had to work with what I have. I am really like, how am I gonna make these eyelashes stick? Oh my god, can someone save me? Can the shops open already so I can get this going? Guys, I struggled. I don't know how many times I had to go back and forth. I wouldn't advise this for anyone to do it, but I just want to show you how desperate I was. I literally was frustrated. Now I struggled so much with the other eye, and I'm thinking, how am I gonna do the other eye? It was too real. I actually gave up on this eye, and I thought, let me actually finish off the look, and I'm gonna come back to it. I was really frustrated, guys. It's not even funny. Like, I didn't have liquid liner. I didn't have eyelash glue. I actually wanted to do glitter. I couldn't even do it because I don't have glitter glue. But I had to work with what I have. I'm just glad that this didn't happen when I was doing a client. So now I'm just brushing off the powder, and then I'm applying highlight. The highlight that I'm using, I'm actually using a gold eyeshadow from Essence. It really does work magic with my skin. It just pops and it stays the whole entire day. So I've applied it on just right on top of my cheekbone and a little bit on my forehead, and right now at the tip of my nose and in the bridge of my nose as well. I really like that glowy look, especially if it's at night and I'm gonna go out. And I never go without blush, because blush also helps to shape my face like a contour kind of way, and it adds color to my face. Not too much, but just the right amount. And I was using and blush from Essence as well, I think so. Yeah, Essence. And right now I just like to make sure my highlight is standing out. So before I finish my look, or I have to do other things, I just apply a little bit of powder right on top of my cheekbones and just blow on my cheekbones. Now I'm applying my Duke. I love Dukes, guys. So I'm using that was one of my t-shirts that I've not worn for like 3 years. I like the print, so I'm just gonna use it as a head wrap. I had to cut it. So the first thing that you want to do, I'm just using a head wrap that I really barely weigh it out, mostly wait when I'm going to sleep. So I'm gonna take it over my head, and I'm gonna do a knot right on my forehead, in the middle of my head or my face as well. Now I'm gonna take that t-shirt that I cut, I'm gonna apply it on top. So this is the second layer. I could have gone with this kind of print on top, but I always like to play it safe. So I always apply like 3 dukes, just in case the first one falls off, then I'm actually left decent under. So I'm taking my skirt right now because I really loved how this blue played out, the blue in my eyes. So I'm gonna make a triangle in a way so that I can make it a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna apply it over, I'll put it over my head, take the 2 corners and cross them over to one another. At this point you can be creative. Sometimes I like to leave the other color popping, the one from the inside, I think it's a light blue, and I will leave the zippers showing if you want to be more creative and you're fun. But if you're not, you can just do this, or if you don't like it. So I'm just making sure it's secured at the back, so I'm tying it together at the back to make sure that I nyegiwe. And then when I'm done doing that, I'm just gonna tuck it in. Now I'm covering that light blue that is showing from the inner part, and then I'm also covering the zippers here and there, so that I can just make it a little bit more, decent in general for everyone. So you can just tuck it in the shape that you want. Actually, you can even leave it a little bit crazy depending on where you are going. And just now I'm just making sure it's looking perfect, and I think I'm happy with that. Then I'm softly brushing off the powder, and this makes sure that my makeup is looking flawless. Now it's time to accessorize. I am applying my earrings, the one I got from Small Street, but I love them so much. And then my neck piece. I'm using the Ndebele gold ring. I really love it. It really finishes out the look. Like, hey, who is this Ndebele girl? You know, with a little bit of some Ankara print on. And then this is me. I'm happy. I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. I'm gonna list all the products I use in the description box below. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your family and friends. I'll see you soon.